You're listening to another Woodshop podcast, the okayest podcast of its type. Your hosts are Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop, and Braden Boakes of Littlebug Woodworking. You can find them as well as the podcast on your favorite social media channels.
Welcome to episode 228 of another Woodshop podcast, the episode that almost didn't happen. We have this tradition every week leading up to the podcast. First, we get real busy working on our projects. Then Thursday suddenly and quite rudely appears, and one of us realizes it's Thursday and texts the group chat, "Hey, it's Thursday." And then we panic, post stories reminding you all. This week, we all forgot, except Braden literally an hour before. Welcome to Three Grown Men Trying Their Best, the podcast. What's up, boys?
Heyo.
How
Trying our
are you?
best. It reflected in the pre-show. We didn't have as big a crowd as we normally have, I felt like.
Yeah.
You know what? Okay. We could talk about how it's our fault because we forget. We didn't post the stories. But you know what?
It's Onefinity's fault.
I blame Onefinity. They took our time slot. And two, it's the same time every single week. I blame the listeners. This is their fault. Every last one of them.
Oof.
By
Wow.
name.
All right.
The opinions of Braden Boakes do not reflect those of the AWP crew.
I was going to straight up blame Braden.
I feel like Braden knew yesterday, but he didn't tell us. He was like, "I'm gonna take all the glory, and the guys will look silly." Ha ha ha! Main host. I'm the main host now.
What are you doing, Steph Braden?
But we also are blaming Onefinity, who's releasing a lot of cool products this week. But they took our time slot during a live show. That's a little rude.
Slightly rude.
Slightly rude. You know what's not rude though, Dan?
Probably our patrons.
Yeah, definitely our patrons. They're
They're
great.
not rude.
They are
grape.
great. They are great.
They're
grape. Grape, like grape job, and you get a sticker with grapes on it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, speaking of grape, we have a new patron.
Yo!
And it's a JM Sullivan Woodworks.
Ayo.
Jason Sullivan joined
Oh.
the Man Army.
Yeah, he's up in like Newfoundland in Canada, a grape capital of the world, I believe.
Does the Canadian money, transfer over? How does that work?
Poutine bucks.
Canadian
some
money is
poutine
basically
bucks.
just metric. Like the rest of the world doesn't
I
really
don't
care.
I don't follow. I don't understand.
I mean,
Actually, we don't care.
There's 100 pennies in $1. It is pretty much metric.
Imagine Canadian money was the opposite. It was like the imperial,
Is there
like,
60 loonies in $1?
like 330 seconds coins.
How many Canucks in a galleon?
Ooh, how
What?
many Horton bagels or donuts, whatever.
Speaking of bagels,
Go
let's
for it.
talk
Canada
about the
Magic.
VIP patrons. The list that just keeps on going and going. Let's go. Damon from BWG Woodworking, Jeremy Claybaugh, Mike from Woodwork and Weld, Shop Urinal Trough.
Oh.
That's Alex Adams. Did that come up in the patron call?
I
feel
think it
like
did
that
because we were talking about
probably-
building a shop out.
Okay, I was
Last
wondering
time
when we
someone
were talking
was
about
building
that.
a shop, you talked about pallet wood piss buckets. So this is different.
That was Jackman.
We were talking
yes,
about this
yes.
with Drew Witt because he's
Yeah.
got the bathroom in his shop.
Drew Whitaker.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. It came up in the last. See, everything just runs together for me.
Because he's shorting his shop by the 5 square feet. So we were talking about
Oh,
a
yeah.
5
Oh, yeah.
square foot piss trough.
Piss trough. Right. Anyway, let's continue reading the patrons.
Yeah.
John Herbolsheimer from Living Lath Woodworks, Jared LaPuma at LL Builds, Tyler Booth from Temecula Yard Games, Henry Luton's at Manfreda Wood, Charlie Coons at Stubby K Studio, Justin Frazier from Fraser Canyon Woodworks, Sarah Rose Goldstein with Rosie's Row Woodshop, Michael at Gillette Woodworks. Last chance to vote for me on the Harvey giveaway. That's obviously Jeff from Maker's Way. Is that giveaway still going on? Can people vote? When is that giveaway done? Do we know?
I'm glad you asked. And
You
I
look
will
it up
tell you.
while I continue
the
reading.
answer.
Victor over at Whim Designs, nipples deep in cutting boards because it is Cutting Board Awareness Month. That is Nick Brim. Max and Liz Reed over at Reed Design Co. Bill Burkle at WTB Woodworking. Jake Coneen at Dobby's Craft House.
Voting ends Saturday, so it's done by the time this comes out.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, it's done. Sorry.
Hope Jeff wins.
What was that guy's name? Jeff.
Make Jeff El Jefe from the Maker's Way.
Drew and the Dimwits. Patrick Insel. Ed Mancini at Mancini Woodworking. Chris at Chris Will Make. Scott over at Red Lake Custom Woodworks. Max and Mindy Coons at Stubby K Studio. Justin Bailey from Campfire Woodworks. Those are all your VIP patrons in the month of November.
Wow.
Thank you to all of our patrons. We appreciate everybody that supports this show. Are we calling it a show? What is this?
It's a live recorded audio and visual experience for your brain.
Extravaganza.
If you want to join the Man Army, you can go over to patreon.com/anotherwoodshop podcast and get signed up over there. We even offer a free tier.
Yeah.
And the free tier is tax deductible.
Is it? For us or them?
You deduct
you guys
every
can write that
penny
off.
you spend on it.
You're welcome.
Interesting.
Our free tier is basically a tax shelter.
Today I learned.
It's like the Cayman Islands of patrons.
Oh, I
Patreons?
like that.
Patron buckets?
Patron, I think.
Patronuses?
Came
Yeah.
where?
In the islands.
Like,
Go on.
yeah. No, I got
I'm
nothing.
going to let you burn.
I got nothing on that one. I don't want to walk into the bear trap I was about to set for myself.
Yeah, no, you don't want to do that.
Hmm.
What I do want to do is shout out our sponsor this week, WTB Woodworking, the brainchild of Bill Burkle. That has been popping off lately. Apparently, business is growing, which we love to see, especially a maker-based business. Booming! And they're actually doing a special event. Chopoxy is coming out on Monday, November 25th. So if you're listening to this weekend, you can still sneak in there if you're in the area. At 9 a.m., they're doing demos with Chopoxy, so you'll be able to check out all their products. They have actually a full wall, and I never realized how much stuff Chopoxy actually makes. Not just epoxies, but pigments and other things. So you can check it out, get the full wall of products there. They also just got the new wall of microjig as well. So all the microjig accessories. Again, another company that I use 3 other products, and I saw the wall and I was like, oh yeah, they make a lot of stuff now, including the magnetic dust ports and some other stuff. So he's got a lot of cool stuff there. Of course, he's a Festool dealer, Lamello, SawStop. You can get your hands on all the machines. You can actually try them out and see them there right in person. You can't put a hot dog through them, sorry. But make sure to check out WTBwoodworking.com. You can order right online and check out the store for in-person specials and deals. There's also a giveaway going right now. So make sure to go check out the site. If you click the link in the show notes, just click giveaway, sign up, and you might have you will have the chance to win a Festool drill. And I hear the word on the street is they might be throwing in some batteries. So that's quite nice. So go check out WTBwoodworking.com.
And from what I understand, you can use that Festool drill to use the new Craig Jig Mortise Mate.
You can, yes.
Yeah.
little column good, little column meh. You know what? Here's the thing. We gave a lot of crap to that Mortise Mate. It's a cool innovation. I like it. It's just we're spoiled because we have the Festool Domino. If we didn't, we might actually really consider it.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
So don't take it we kind of leaned into it. I was listening to it and I'm like, man, we really hated on this thing, but it's cool. It's innovation and it's another way of joining things.
If I didn't have the domino, I would 100%.
100%. Yeah. Shoot, there's times that I have a doweling jig that I'll use the doweling jig because I just need a pin. I don't want to pull out my domino.
Right.
And it seems silly, but I also have all these dowels I need to use up. Might as well use them up, right? So, well, that's great, guys. That's it for our sponsors. We just had the one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
We heart.
You're going to be hearing a lot about Bell in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, I just love maker-based businesses. I've talked to I was talking to somebody else too, and there people in the community starting businesses just gets me excited because I'm like, yes, I want to. How can I help? How can we make this succeed? Because the more cool businesses we have, the better, the gooder.
True
Like, yeah. Because then more potential sponsors, I guess, right?
There it is. There it
There's
is.
that too. Yeah. Hey,
Mhm.
gotta keep the lights on, but also I want to see you guys succeed.
You can't get crumbs if you don't give anybody else some bread.
I like that.
Mm,
Nice.
there we go.
Well,
Did
now
you make
Braden's really excited to do some maker news, so we should probably talk about that.
Good news, everyone!
And look at that audio at full volume, Braden.
Look at this. I'm so proud of you.
Braden, you whip out your list. Go ahead and talk about all the things that you wanted to talk about.
I don't have anything list.
I know, I'm throwing them. We didn't talk about any of the maker news
That's a
stuff.
bag of
but
pork rinds.
I do want to
Okay.
shout out Onefinity though.
No.
Oh.
No. You threw it
sorry.
to me. I'm
Forget
taking
what I
the
said.
easy one. I'm taking the obvious one. It's Onefinity week.
What?
And, what? Yeah, they have been dropping. They start off the week. I was a little worried. They dropped, the new Jenny pack, and that's kind of normal. And then,
Don't sugarcoat it. We're all disappointed. we
Yeah,
all wanted
it was-
big out of the gate. And
Monday,
they were
I
like,
was-
hey,
I was
Jenny
thoroughly
Bits. And we're
disappointed.
like, I'm mad at you, Morgan.
It was a classic repeat promo. And they're good bits. But we've seen it like the last 2 years. And then what was Tuesday? We did the
I
bits.
will definitely tell you once I click on their Onefinity page.
You're asking a lot of me
What's
right
that?
now.
So first of all, it was the vacuum bed. The vacuum bed
That's-
came out,
okay,
and we're
that's
like,
what it
"Hey,
was, yeah.
that's kind of cool." Jenny Bits came out the same day, and we were like, "If this is it, I'm throwing it out of my shop." I'm kidding, I'm not. But we were teased really hard by some people we know.
We were edged. But the vacuum bed thing was actually really cool because they built it to fit the QVC Home Shopping Network stand that Onefinity offers.
Is that what they call it?
I'm pretty sure that's what they call it. That's what Stone has allowed me to call it to him. But you could actually get the slats so that would fit into the QVC frame. I have no idea what
Close
the
enough.
acronym is, but whatever. The slats would actually fit in the frame, so you could replace if you just completely damaged an entire bed, like a suction bed,
Yeah,
you could replace
Hop
it.
out of section. Yep.
Yeah, super cool. Dan,
QCW.
QCW, the Home Shopping
Close
Network.
enough.
Don't know what it stands for, but that's what they call it.
Quality.
Control.
See, I already forgot what the letters are again. QCW.
Let's just
call it
QVC.
Woo! So that was Monday and Tuesday.
Yep.
Then they hit us with Wednesday.
Was that
And
the
they hit
laser?
us-
Or the
No, Tuesday was the laser.
Oh, Tuesday was the laser.
So
Okay.
Tuesday was the 64 watt adjustable JTech
Adjustable.
laser, which is super cool because you can regulate it down because they're basically just taking all of these little mini lasers and they're
They're stacking
rubber
them.
banding them.
Yeah, that
they're
literally
just
is
rubber
how,
banding
like,
them together.
That's a great way to put it because that's literally what happens with these diodes. They just keep attaching others to it.
Because it was 17 watt, then 14 watt, 28, and then
44.
64.
48, something like that. Anything,
Yeah.
some multiple. And so that was it. It was like Monday was the bits pack, and Tuesday was the laser, which cool innovations. But come on, we've seen.
I have
them
a
before.
question about the laser.
Okay,
So they said it's adjustable. So you can
8
do
inches.
22, 44, 66, right? I think that was the three.
something like
thing.
that.
Is there no way to just adjust the power in the software? Like I'm just used to having 150 watt laser, ladies, and then I just adjust the power as needed. Like, is there not a way to adjust the power in the software?
So one of the things that I saw was the more power and the more lasers that you stack, the way that they're building out these JTech lasers, the bigger your beam is, though. So
Ladies.
you could probably dial it down power-wise lower, but you'd still have a bigger beam. And so by dialing it back, you could probably get more detailed engravings, is my guess.
Gotcha.
And I'm
We're
making that up,
speculating here.
so.
We'll have to
What
ask an
if-
adult. Maybe we'll have Morgan back on.
What if I want a bigger bean?
What? Chicago? Go to Chicago. There's direct
Oh.
flights.
Right.
Oh,
But
the
just
bean.
the one bean.
You fly in, you flick the metal, and you fly back.
Got to flick the bean and then leave. All right.
But anyway, so that was
Then
Monday.
what?
That was Monday and Tuesday, and that was kind of like okay, been there, done that. Like cool innovations, but we've seen this before. Wednesday, though, that's when the revolution dropped. And I mean the American Revolution. We went to war and we came back and we had a fourth axis for our Onefinities, a rotary attachment that they have two options in size, so it can fit the 32-inch beds or the 48-inch beds. Two options where you could work with the Masso controller, and everybody always complains that there's nothing new for the BuildBotics controller. This works with the BuildBotics.
I'm excited.
It comes with like a splitter, like a Y splitter for the Y axis, and so you can actually run it natively on the BuildBotics.
I am pre-ordering that sucker. I cannot wait.
Which is super dope. It has a 7-inch max width, depth, circumference. I'm not sure how rotary things get measured.
Circumcised.
I'm not a lathe
Girth.
guy. Yeah, 7 inches
Girthy
girth.
circumcised.
So yeah, I mean that should be pretty cool. I mean, one of the demos that they showed was them 3D carving one of the maker scans of stone. So I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to like create products using a rotary. I do know that I can now make wooden makers.
I do know I want one. That's it.
I do know that.
I've got business plans already.
What are you? How,
You
are
guys
you
don't
going to
even
make?
know.
Are you going to make fully cylindrical zero clearance inserts?
Maybe.
Oh,
Fight
Zero clearance butt plugs. They're not flared at all. It's flush.
No, I'm going past the plugs and we're going straight to anal beans.
Whoa.
oh. I
Beans.
like how you said
Beans.
beans, but
Beans.
you still said the other word, which
Oh.
now we've got to throw
Before in the pre-show was dill pickles you were doing. There's a
I'm
theme here.
gonna make large dill pickles.
Imagine like Dan's next thing is just like 4D carves of like hyper realistic pickles out of different woods.
Why
Like,
not?
That's his new thing.
There's nobody doing it. It could be art. Did you see that there was a banana that was duct taped to a wall and sold for like $4 million?
Well, that's
Yeah.
art. That's art. It's talking
art.
Yeah,
about
I'm gonna make dill pickles and tape them to a wall with X fasten.
the difference is the banana being taped was showing the currently developing and captive relationship of humans and technology.
Yes.
In a postmodern world. I mean,
Weird.
that's clearly why it had value.
Okay.
Stop trying to make sense of it.
Speaking of
We
making
are
sense
now
of it,
dumber for having listened to that.
okay, you guys clearly do not understand
Wait,
art.
I need to get
am a learned man.
That quote, I need to get that as a sound clip. Somebody gives an answer.
So, and that's it. That's all that Onefinity has announced this week. They haven't announced anything else. Oh, wait, there's more. Today, they dropped natively supported spindles. Both 65 millimeter and 80 millimeter air-cooled spindles from Redline spindles, which everybody knows from cars. The Redline, that's where like all the power is. So
Actually, in the photography world, if you're going to buy Canon lenses, if you have a Canon, you want the Redline lenses. So
everything's always better at the Redline.
clearly,
Not the Red Wedding though. That's different.
What?
Spindles are pretty cool though. They're plug and play, fully supported by Onefinity. That's always been like a huge like bugaboo with people, is that it's pretty obvious the Onefinities can handle spindles, being as we all three have spindles on our Onefinities. But they never would support them because it was a third party product, and so you can't support something that's not yours. You know, who knows what the heck people are doing. They could be putting 80 millimeter pickles in their Onefinities and getting mad
hit
when
me
they
up
break.
for all your pickle needs.
But-
So here's my question about the spindles. Right. That's awesome. I love it. I love that they're all in ones, whatever. First, when I saw the screenshot, so two questions really. First, I saw the screenshots and it looked like one was specific to Masso, one was specific to the style that I have, like the black box without the Masso.
Buildbotics.
Thank you. Yeah, that one. So I'm wondering if they're going to come in like 2 different versions. And then if you upgrade your Buildbotics to a Masso, do you now need a new spindle? I would want to get the answers to that. The other thing is, based on what I'm seeing on their site, they're 110 volt, 110 volt for, so 110 volt for the 1.5 kilowatt, 110 volt for the 1. I guess the other, they're called
One's 1.5, 65.
and then there's the 2.2 kilowatt air cooled. That's the 220.
Yeah.
So there is no option because some like with the
220,
Chinese version, whatever, you can get the lower end, but the 220 like got some versatility. So I'm wondering about some of the logistics. It's not obviously the pre-order starts on the 25th, starts on Monday, so you'll be able to see the full unlocked like page of what you can add in there. But yeah, I'm just curious. Oh, and you can choose the mount. Actually, I'm seeing it here.
So the mount part is cool. It's actually for the controller box. That's what I was talking about earlier.
Okay.
So the mount is, they've got 3 different mounts. They've got a wall mount, so you can mount the controller box directly to a wall. And then they've got a tabletop mount, which is basically just the box, like you said, on a bench or whatever above or below. And then they've got the Home Shopping Network undermount, which bolts directly to the QCW frame.
Yeah,
which is pretty slick. And then it's got a removable screen that you can relocate, so you can mount all that stuff out of the way and still have control and your little knob to speed up and slow down and all that.
I like that. It's cool,
So,
and it looks cool. It looks neat. The whole setup is because the actual controller can be attached to it or attached separately. It looks nice. But my biggest concern is that whole like Masso versus, because then when you upgrade your machine to a Masso, you're also having to upgrade your spindle, which is an extra little thing.
If I remember right, the Buildbotics has a breakout panel that you have to add in order to get the plugs right to run the VFD. So I wonder if it's that, if it has like a breakout box that comes with it, or I don't know. We don't know because we don't work for Onefinity, and they just got announced today.
By the way, this is in no way an ad for Onefinity. We all have this machine, and we're all pretty excited about the attachments to it. We'll bill Onefinity for this. But
Yes.
I have some questions about some of this stuff. So basically the upgradability of it. But I gotta say, they've been good about upgrades in the past, so maybe they'll have an upgrade.
I am going to be first in line for that rotary axis, that 4th axis.
I can't wait to see all the pickles.
The pre-order, it says starts Monday, so like Monday at midnight 01. I'm going to be refreshing the page until
we're going to get a text from Dan. I got it. Pickle time.
Are you the same time zone as them?
Pickle Daniel.
They're in Missouri or no?
Arkansas.
Yeah.
Or
I don't know.
Dallas or Canada.
But anyways, my question is, because you said you have questions, what software am I going to need to run that?
You can run it with Carveco or with Aspire. But I don't know about your Aspire.
Oh, no.
But possibly. I know my Aspire works.
Honestly, here's the thing. Morgan, if you're listening to this, because I think he's the only one that listens to this, we need software from you guys. I want Onefinity 3D. I want the software.
Tomorrow.
Bro, if they dropped software tomorrow, I would be the first one in line to try it out. I love like good software. I want to.
Oh God, that came through on my mic.
What? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
It was an audio blip. Here's what tomorrow's announcement is going to be. Okay, here's my projections for tomorrow because this is only Thursday. Like we've had 2 pretty big drops.
Oh my God, it's Thursday. We have the podcast tonight.
Oh yeah, somebody posted about that. 2 pretty big drops this week already, and so that leaves Friday, which means here's my projections. Okay. They bought Lightburn, and that's why we haven't seen the beta tests of the CNC software yet. They've been rebranding it, changing it from red to green. 4x8 machine. I don't think that one's actually going to happen. Stone keeps telling me it's not going to happen, but he also told me a 4x4 was never going to happen.
Yeah, they're a bunch of liars.
A week later, the 4x4
I have learned that about them.
Yeah.
They have plausible deniability. Like that's their day one training. whatever whoever gets hired there, like you deny everything.
Listen, these makers are incessant. Deny, deny, deny. This is politics 101.
And if they bring up a good idea, deny it, bring it up in our meetings. And we'll see.
Or they're going to offer stone and hop
branded
AI
Onefinities.
robots.
Oh, I was thinking like a Stonefinity and a Hopfinity.
Ooh, they're going to offer special edition machines where Stone and Morgan sign them in Sharpie on the controller box.
Like an enclosure that goes over the spindle of like either Morgan's face or Stone's face with the mouth wide open, and then a spindle comes out of the mouth to carve. So dumb.
Get that visual out of my head.
They could 3D print on the enclosure box for the VFD. Oh. They could 3D print like Han Solo-esque carbonite, but with Morgan and Stone's faces on them, either side.
And I'm just throwing this out here, really random. What if like right at where the home is, right where the machine homes, there's you mount a Stone face and it's got a kissy face, and then a Morgan face goes on a spindle, so when it actually homes, they kiss.
I think you could 3D print that. You could 3D print that. We have the maker scans.
It would just got to do a little modding with the lips.
It'd have to be a 3D. It'd have to be a tool setter like cover so that it's setting the Z, just the gentle kiss, and then
little peck.
little peck. Yeah.
Anyway, Onefinity, we'll bill you for all these ideas. Like this is all consulting work, so you're welcome.
I genuinely I wasn't thinking about software until we started talking about it now. Like if they release software, I think that could be a game changer. Because I don't foresee these guys charging $600 for it. $500. Like this software, it would either be some kind of subscription or be cheaper. I don't know. That's what I'm kind of feeling, but it would be cool. It would be really cool.
I can't wait to download.
We both have 3D. A lot of options, and then also we have none of the options are cheap. Kind of.
I can't wait to download my free trial of Stone 3D. So
can't wait for all of you guys to know when you're listening to this on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, we'll know this by the time the episode drops. So,
all right. Well,
but yeah, that's it for Onefinity.
I don't have any other maker news. Nothing else exciting really happened.
Pete and I got the bourbon blade.
We did get the bourbon blade.
Oh yeah, I'm a substandard influencer.
I gotta say,
it's not bad.
It feels beefy. It actually has no play, like in the spine.
It's very solid.
I feel like and so here's the thing: they did actually put a pretty like solid spine in it that you can hammer on, and that's one of the things that Jason keeps talking about, like that you can just wail on it with a mallet if you want. I will say it's pretty cool, and if you got
it's
I don't know if it will be my EDC, but it's definitely going to be in my table for use.
I'm not an EDC guy, but this has been in my pocket every day for the last week.
It's so definitely part of
my EDC.
Yeah. It feels really good, and it's mine. Apparently, I read the note. Mine specifically is made with 100% uncut Colombian bourbon.
Oh wow!
They just shape it into metal.
Wow!
Pure uncut Colombian bourbon.
Flipping it open, that makes me feel tough.
Dan, how many holes are in the wall directly to your right from you accidentally not holding on tight enough and eating that thing into the wall?
We don't talk about
You know what's funny is I use like a box cutter in the shop 99.9% of the time. Like the classic like back spine, you just like move it up and move it back in when you want to put it away. I'm such a not EDC guy that when I was like, oh, I got the blade in, I didn't push with my finger on the back to flip it open. I did that and I like flicked it and it like, luckily it stuck. But I was like, wait, that's right. It has like the lever on the back.
Whoops.
But
hold the lever, Kronk.
I like it. It's nice. And you know what? It came with a little wrench too. I'll give him that. It actually came with the part that you need to move stuff around on it or to tighten.
Oh, was I supposed to keep that?
Yeah, don't throw it away.
Yes.
I'm gonna hold out for the bourbon chucks.
Bourbon chuck?
Yeah, it's just a chisel on a chain with a stick.
That sounds dangerous.
I gotta
love
say,
it.
so we saw this, what, Dan, 2 years ago? Or was it this last year? Jason
I
had
don't
it,
remember.
and he was showing it off. He had the prototype. And I was like, it seems gimmicky. I remember taking it in my hand and going like, okay, it feels like a knife. Like, it feels like the right weight. So, I don't know. It's neat. I like it. Again, it's a maker-based business. I like it. And then Feline Jesus
Exactly.
is helping, create this. So he knows his stuff. Cat's Moses. That's what I'm talking about.
Kitty
Yeah,
Moses.
Yeah, Feline Jesus.
I get it now. Took me a second.
Any other news? We actually didn't check for like YouTube videos.
I was kind of
by the way,
scrolling through that.
I did see Hamilton is dropping a video on a new spindle tomorrow. He teased it today.
Oh, did he already get his hands on the red line?
Did he already? He's had it
Of
for
course he
weeks. Yeah, of course he
did.
did. So that's coming.
I'm
So I
not
think it's
seeing
definitely worth
anything
checking out.
else that's like popping out at me.
Yeah.
So there's
I actually
that.
wonder if Jeff from Tumu's had it. So Onefinity did do a live about their thing. So maybe Jeff also had one. I don't know.
Probably.
And of course, Blacktail Studio made another giant table.
I will say that my prediction a couple weeks ago was correct. I'm seeing a lot more videos about these will make great gifts or the top 5 things to buy woodworkers, videos like that. They're starting to pop off.
Yep.
I've seen a number of them.
And I just want one last little piece of housekeeping stuff. If I can get your attention, guys.
Uh-oh.
We all just need to do one collective suck it to Drew Witch,
Oh, yes.
who
yes.
said that spindle or a rotary would not be coming out. He's like, hey, nice rotary thing when the Jenny bits came out. And now we can say suck it because it came out. So we'll be taking our winnings in form of money. And thank you.
Not Canadian money either.
No, real American.
No. Yeah, he's down in Texas. He's got Texas money.
Pure uncut Colombian USD.
We will take Alamo bucks.
Alimony bucks. All right.
I think that's it for news.
That's it for news.
That is it.
We actually had like this was pretty exciting. I know it was one brand, but like that's a lot of cool new tools coming out. And
It is. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. I think
I just
tape
popped open
banana.
to see if there was anything new, and it's the banana tape to the wall.
banana tape.
$6.2 million. It's a funny joke at the time, but now I feel sad.
Who paid for that?
I don't know.
Somebody with
Bro,
at least
I could make you
$7
something
million.
better, and you'd only have to give me like 500 G's.
Just
YOLO,
whatever it costs
bro.
for a rotary.
Gee whiz.
All right. So before we get into the what's on our benches, which I feel like we haven't done, we had a guest for 2 weeks, like 2 guests. But anytime we have 2 guests in a row, I feel like I haven't talked to you guys like directly in like a month because
Who are you?
who are you again? Oh, wait. There's one more Maker News thing. Prusa released their new printer, their new Core XY, which here's the
Is
thing.
that
I will say
official?
this. Oh, it's released. Yeah. It's released. Oh, well, it's you can pre-order now. It's released in you can get it in January. Cool design. I think it's going to be great. It's the P1X like competitor. People say it's the X1 carbon competitor, but I'm not sure about it.
It's the
I
X1
think-
carbon killer.
Here's the thing: if bamboo wasn't a thing, we would be buying this thing up like crazy. I think they kind of missed the mark on a couple of things with like how easily accessible it is for everyone. But I will say it's still cool technology. It's a great printer. It looks like the reviews are coming in are really good, so it's worth checking out. Like Prusa's not dead yet, and it's good to hear because they're a pretty decent brand. They make some good quality stuff. That is all. But before we get into what's on a bench, we kind of started talking about this Maker Events 2025.
Ooh,
Yeah. So let's
wrap.
I know it's early, but
You want to wrap up the podcast already?
No, it's too soon.
Let's get out of here. We're done.
We're done, guys. We have a lot of events coming up next year, and I'm already starting to plan for them. Like I already took some vacation days just to get ready. What are you guys thinking for Maker events next year? Because we have 3 that are in stone that we're definitely doing.
Maker cruise in the Caribbean.
God, that's
Would
such
love
a
that.
good idea.
You're
That's
welcome.
2026.
We most likely have like Workbench Con. We haven't really like talked about it. That's the only reason it's not like confirmed solid yet, but like we're probably going to be at Workbench Con.
There's a better than 50% chance.
Yeah. We're really going to try to do the West Coast Maker Meetup with Surf Prep again. Try to be out there. So that's in June.
Yep.
Right? June. Then we have Maker Camp, which is like, that's unskippable. That's non-negotiable. That has to happen.
It's not negotiable. It's part of the contract.
And then the new one we really want to do next year is the Texas Woodworking Festival.
Yeehaw.
Absolutely.
Here's some other ones. So we've been talking about doing the AWFS or IWF because they alternate every year.
I'm 100% out on that because that is always the weekend of my anniversary.
Is that in August, right?
Late July.
Oh, late July? Okay.
Yeah.
But like,
at least the past couple of years, it's always been the same weekend.
We'll send them a message, see if they can reschedule.
so
Okay, you do that.
the reason I'm bringing this up too is because like I was kind of looking at the calendar and with talking with people over the last couple of weeks. There's new events that are not new, but some events that I want to attend that might not necessarily be like podcast events. Like, what's the Lightburn Expo that's going to be at Javits
the
Center.
nerd events.
There's going to be the East Coast Rep Rap Festival that I think the name changed now, but that's usually
We're going to Comic-Con.
in Delaware, I think. I went with Dave and Patrick last year. It was a lot of fun. I think Festool's having a 100th anniversary thing that I might be going to.
Is that a special invite, though?
Might be. And I've been watching people that I follow, a lot of accounts that I follow, go to Open Sauce, which is an open source style tech, nerdy 3D printing, coding, programming, science YouTube convention. It's like a whole thing. And it's in San Francisco in July 19th to the 20th. It's a weekend, which that's what it is, Dan. Yeah. So I've actually been thinking about a lot of events. I have like 7 events that I want to try to hit up next year. And I don't know if I can swing it.
Plus, you also have to come to Omaha.
I do have to.
When are we going to do that?
I feel like the holidays is like a bad time to come. So I'll probably do it like...
Well, yeah.
Let's do April again. I feel like I've gone...
March or April would be perfect.
Yeah, that's when we went the last 2 times I went.
That's before it gets cold. It's starting to get green.
Yeah. You can wear shorts, but a hoodie. It's great.
Maybe.
So
wouldn't count on it.
What about you guys? Like, I want to hear your events. So that's a lot of the events we're going to.
I think you've already nailed all the events I'm going to. Like, I'm not going to any nerd events, that's for sure. Workbench Con. Well, the 4 that you mentioned, Workbench Con. My mind is going blank.
Yep.
There are 3
West
others.
Coast Maker
West
Meetup.
Coast Maker Meetup.
Thank you, Braden. West Coast Maker Meetup, Maker Camp, non-negotiable, and Texas Woodworking Festival, obviously.
And that's a new one on the list.
And you never know, like something might fall in our laps. I mean, that's happened before. So,
plus, here's the thing: we love a weekend. At least me, and right now Braden, while he's still at a regular job, love a weekend event. Some of these events, like IWF,
I like Monday morning events,
like WF, whatever AWF, like IWF and AWFS are middle of the week conventions. Like,
are they?
Yeah, it's literally like you got to take vacation days or whatever. So a weekend event is always great. Obviously, Workbench Con is still, that's like a Friday. You got to go on Wednesday. Thursday's a soft open. Friday, Saturday, and then you fly out Sunday.
Also, I'm just gonna throw something out here, just because of all of the brands that I'm sure that listen to us. If any brands out there need representation at events, maybe reach out to us. We could have the AWP boys represent you, or do
I won't wear my I Love Crotch T-shirt.
Dan promises to not wear his I Love Crotch shirt.
That is the only shirt.
Unless you're into that sort of thing.
It's a nice shirt, though, isn't it?
That's the only shirt that's off limits. Everything else he's gonna wear.
You can get this on my website.
Yeah, he'll wear the one from David Wirt. On the back it says, "Ask me how you can get hands on my wood."
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Yeah.
I just thought of something. So speaking of Dan's website, is Dan's website Maker News or is that what's on my bench?
I was
That's
going
on
to
the
bring it up
bench.
on what's on my bench.
I was gonna say because that's pretty big Maker News.
Well,
It's huge
why don't
news.
we get into that?
Hit the button.
What's on my bench?
There it is.
And Dan, why don't you get us started with what's on the bench for you?
Etsy orders. That's it.
And what other orders, Dan?
With the help of Braden.
And Shopify
And by
order.
by saying with the help of Braden, I think it was all Braden. I have
What
a
about
functioning website
me?
now. Did you hope?
He offered moral support.
I encouraged you.
Yeah. Well, after talking to Drew last week, he mentioned a few things about Shopify, and I was like,
Oh,
sold.
you were listening? I thought you were asleep half the time.
I was kind of in and out. It was weird.
Dan
he was
so
deep in thought.
tired that week.
But he said some things that just
I gotta
sold
say,
me. I think
If
it
you
was
didn't listen to
after-
last week's episode, I think it's worth it.
I think it was after we got done recording, we were talking about it. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay, I got to do this. And Saturday night, we were on the stoop, and Braden was just like, F it, let's do this. Let's do it now. I'm like, okay. So I sent Braden all my passwords for everything. He's got total control of my life.
Pause. First of all, that's not how the conversation went.
I don't remember.
It wasn't Dan going, let's do this. Yeah, we're gonna. No, there's no let's. There's no we're. There's whatever. It was just Braden going, Dan, just give me the password. Like, let me send me your credit card. Like, let me just do it for you. He was like, all right. And literally, Braden did all the work for Dan.
Everything. He did everything. He was awake till 3:30 in the morning. I went to bed at midnight.
Granted, we were on a stoop anyway, so that was going to happen anyway.
Still, he was buying URLs for ridiculous stuff too, as well.
So excited.
Not
about
with
that.
my credit card, I hope, but yeah. So I have a Shopify based website now, thanks to Braden, and it feels great. It feels great to have another line of revenue, especially like if Etsy goes under. Like, I'm not going to be SOL. So you can get everything that I offer on Etsy through my website, same price, same free shipping, except I don't have to pay the Etsy fees. So you're helping a brother out if you go over there. Aside from that, obviously, I got orders going out, orders coming in, keeping busy there, keeping Sutton busy, sanding. I think I shipped out, I want to say 8 tables this past week.
Gee willikers.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think I got 4, 5 more over in the other living room that I need to box up. So yeah, things are picking up. I feel like something else happened, but I can't remember what. I'm drawing a blank.
Anybody that doesn't know like what you do, like somebody walks in your front door instead of going through the shop, is just gonna be like, man, this guy's got a real thing for tables.
Right.
Guy just got a deal.
He's a table hoarder. Yeah,
Um,
so that's been my week. I mean, it's a
Dan
lot of the
also,
same.
he very openly now, especially on his podcast, opened up about a part of his life that he's been kind of hiding, that he's been kind of putting behind the scenes and out of sight. And he's opened up a lot about what was behind the 2 sets of blinds
Right.
in his background. Here's the thing. Me and Dan have been friends for like 35 years, right? And I've
Decades.
watched Dan when he moved his desk to his new spot. There's been this section of blinds that's been there. And
Yeah.
I've always just been like, oh, it's like a dead storage space or whatever. He
Basically.
had it open the other day when we were on a Zoom call. And I go, you have shelves back there? He's like, yeah, it's like where I just like throw junk. I'm like, Dan,
But here's the
Fill-
thing. It
fill
was
it with
always
cool stuff.
it was always shut because it was a disaster in there.
Yeah.
There were toys in there. There were board games. I threw everything out.
Now
screw
it's
board
filled
games.
with like shop stuff and like
It's shop
tchotchkes
stuff and
knickknacks
3D printing and
yeah.
packaging stuff and yeah,
Hopes and
stuff
dreams.
that I need.
It actually
Yeah.
it makes your background better, I think. I think the red light actually
Really?
honestly could. Here's what you need to do, Dan. Built in with backlight or some kind of light in there.
Why
Just
don't
to,
you
like,
come on over and help me do that? That could be our weekend project.
Have
when you
Sutton do it.
Dan, I'm going to send you an Amazon link. Govee is running their Black Friday sales now. You can get like all of their lights for like 30% off.
There you go.
We're going to
just,
get you
like,
some RGB.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think
And
it's
this
gonna-
light over here, this light is run by a
We'll
Milwaukee
figure out that light,
shop
Dan.
light.
Yeah, so, somebody
It's
over
on a
there-
battery, so it could die in the middle of the podcast. and go out.
Over there, you can't see it, but there's also a man like duct taped to a chair being interrogated by.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I wanted a way to light up my new sign. We all got a new sign from
Hey.
Lizzie and Ashley together as one. What do they have a business name together? Or
The House of Ashwood Timber.
that sounds good.
It's Ashwood and Timber is like their combined
Okay,
name,
yeah.
but it's Ashwood and Hawk and House of Timber.
Speaking of supporting makers, the podcast bought these signs. So we wanted to display them, and I wanted to display mine. So
Timestamp for that photo op.
yeah.
Keep going.
Oh,
We should continue
Still
talking.
Yeah, we're still doing a
live
podcast.
I'm writing. You can keep going.
So that's been my couple weeks, I guess. Braden, do some talking and stuff. Tell us what's up.
Well, let's see. I've been having a challenging week. I'm going to tell you guys that right now.
Uh-oh.
I have been trying to make stuff for the craft fair that Dan and I have coming up this weekend.
I forgot to mention that.
That's okay. I just assumed you're being polite and letting me mention it because you have
Go
all the
right
stuff.
ahead, sir.
So we have a craft fair this weekend. If you're in the Omaha, Council Bluffs, like this, our area, we'll be down at Bench for Benchmade probably when this drops. So listen and then hurry up and come see us. But so I've been making stuff, and I want to do something like kind of different, just to try. Not a ton of pieces. So what I've been doing is I've been making cribbage boards. I got a digital file from Alex Duffy, our guest next week, and I have been making those. And I don't have, other than the fact that I have a CNC, I don't really have the right tools or setup. So I had, on my first one, I had a bunch of wobbly holes because I tried to use like a normal drill bit, which, let me tell you, does not have the structural integrity to spin at 17,000 RPM. It just does not. So it looks like a little drunk person drilled a bunch of my cribbage holes.
Did it bend a little bit?
It
bent like
twisted and
Beckham.
shouted.
Well, can I pause for a second? Because Lee Oman of the Omens, he used to go to his wife's Danielle's Glowforge, laser engrave the top of the cribbage board, like the spots, and then go to the drill press and press each one by hand.
God.
And even with that, obviously, there's going to be a little bit of when you're doing hundreds of holes, you're going to have a
makes
little.
it handmade, though.
Yeah, it does. But it basically had the same vibe. So did you bend the drill? Is that what happened?
No, I chucked it up into my spindle.
Well,
The drill
yeah,
bit.
but did it bend or
it
whatever? Because a
didn't
couple of
bend.
them went.
I think what it was doing is it was spinning so fast that it was hitting, probably some of the grain or something as it was coming out, and it was almost twisting a little bit.
We talked about this on the stoop.
Yeah.
Drill presses on average max out at about 2,000 RPM, maybe 3,000. If you're chucking that bit up in the spindle, you're doing 18,000, 24,000. So it's wobbling like crazy when you get it up that fast. And that's probably what happened, right?
Probably. That's what I assume happened. Because it would be fine for a couple, and then it'd have one where it's just "Woo," and that is the technical sound of what it made.
If I remember correctly, there is CNC drill bits.
There
And
are.
I know Bits and Bits offers that.
There are. I have some on the way.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
$55 for a pair of them, though, and they're not going to show up until next week. So that wasn't helping me.
Wow, would you get them
And
on
also-
Temu?
No.
Why you
I
gotta-
ordered
why you gotta
them.
be
I
like
ordered them
that?
from Amazon, which that's a whole other thing. Amazon shipping these days is just, it's not
Mhm.
today.
Why didn't you get it from Bits and Bits and use code AWP?
because I thought the Amazon Prime would get it to me faster. What it's been doing is it's been telling me my delivery dates and then like pushing them out after I make the order. I got a whole bone to pick there, but
Well, Braden, I got good news for you.
what's that?
We're doing another craft fair in December, so
That's right. We will have another.
You got another shot. Yeah.
But anyway, so that was my first one, and it's fine. Like I got it done, and it was kind of cool. It was like a split piece of scrap white oak that I had, and it's 8/4, and so I did some Paduke like crossbars, almost like butterflies or something like that, or bow ties. I did,
stay in your lane, bro.
I did it for my own piece. I'm not trying to sell them. But anyway, so I did those. Came out fine, but it's it needed a little bit of improvement.
I'm gonna be honest.
Second one, the hole drilling is much better. I used an 1/8 of an inch bit, down cut bit, because that's all I had. Turns out
you get a lot of smoking.
I got a lot of smoking. Like I paid attention to my CNC even more so than I normally definitely do.
This explains why you were looking for an upcut bit.
And I was trying to find an upcut bit. Turns out Dan, Nick, and I, none of us use upcut bits. Like
not 1/8 inch.
I mean,
have
it's
some
all
upcut 1/4 inch bits, but not.
I have a bunch of cheapo Amazon upcut bits, mainly because I bought some cheap bits.
Yeah.
And then learned the hard way they were all upcut, and it was just tearing out all my stuff.
Yeah.
Why does this look like garbage?
What you do is you run the job at an upcut bit, and then you just run it through the planer afterwards to clean up all the stuff.
So anyway, so I did that. Second one came out pretty good, and I've been working through it. Problem is, so it's right here. It's a nice piece of ash, and then mahogany, and then purple heart. And what I've been doing is I'm trying to get the purple heart back to being purple because, I sanded it and it's brown and purple looks better. And so what I was trying today was I read that if you coated purple heart with acetone and then heated it, it would turn purple. Like it darken back up or it brighten back up, whatever.
I was not aware of this.
It worked. It also says you can put acetone and then like leave it out in the sunlight. My guess is the same thing, like the heat and the UV rays will
don't need acetone. You can just use water, but yes.
Oh, okay. It worked. So what I did was I'm really pumped with this one. I developed like a little container to hold the pins and hold the cards, everything. This thing was ready for me to spray lacquer on it and be done after the podcast. The problem is while I was heating it, I used my oven because it's late at night and I assumed everybody was done cooking. Everybody, my girls go to bed. In between the pre-show and us recording this, I walk upstairs and I notice, man, the oven's on. I turned it off. What's cooking? And then I turn and I look on the counter and this is sitting there. I'm like, nope, not a fan. My dear, sweet, loving wife, was not expecting a piece of woodworking to be in the oven when she preheated it to start meal prepping for the week. Cranked this sucker up to like 400 degrees.
She was trying to enamel some cups, right? Okay.
Probably, yeah. She was
some pottery.
on the kiln. And luckily she noticed it was in there.
What is that smell?
We didn't burn down the house. Like that's kind of the worry. But let me tell you, extreme heat and tight bond doesn't go together. You can't really see, but like this is all split. Like everything is split.
I don't know how people woodwork in Arizona. It's the same temperature.
That actually, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But, so anyway, my first like fully done cribbage board now is undone, and I'm in my feels about it. So,
no.
But anyway, so we've got the craft fair on Saturday. I have been building cabinets. I've been using the CNC to build the cabinets. I don't know why I've been freehanding these things in the past because it is so much nicer doing rabbits and dados on the CNC.
You're freehanding them?
Freehanding like a table saw and like a router, like, woodworking.
I would use some sort of guided system of some sort.
Gross.
I'm at the point where if I can't run it on the CNC, I don't even know if I actually want to do the project anymore.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
bro.
the exact opposite of a real woodworker. I am
Preach.
so far for being a real woodworker that I don't even like
Oh.
having planes in my shop as like decoration. Like that,
I don't
somebody
know.
might think I'm gonna hand
Please
fool.
see intro for explanation. A grown man
I don't-
trying his best.
I don't know if I ever really had a woodworking card, but I gave my woodworking card away a long time ago when I got my
Yeah,
CNC.
no.
I'm like, if I can't cut on the CNC, I don't want to do it.
I'm getting to the point where if I have to change bits in the CNC, I like,
Bro.
how can I do it? Like, do I
Oh,
just run it all with the 1/8 inch?
That's like, dude,
a bit.
If Onefinity releases a bit changer tomorrow or a tool changer,
They'll
Game
have my
over.
money so fast
Immediately.
it'll make their online hair spin.
yeah, I will make Dan's midnight release purchase look bad. I'll be so fast on that.
The chances are, though, if they release something like that, it's going to have to be for the Masso, the Elite. I don't think they'd be able to use that. For the
Damn.
build products.
I have the poor so.
Yeah,
So
me
I have
too.
to-
I can get it because I'm not a poor.
hey, whoa, hey, oh.
That's enough of that.
But
Just
you know,
sit
the
here
build-
with my
the
arms
other-
crossed.
What you guys have has a cooler name. Buildbotics just sounds more fun.
You damn right.
Whatever.
But yeah, so that's kind of what I've got going on my bench this week. You know, just building some house furniture. I did also order, this is not like maker related, but it's gonna make everybody on my street crazy. I've been on the fence about doing permanent Christmas lights or permanent house lights
Oh
for a
no.
while. I convinced myself to pull the trigger today, and so now I have 150 feet of LED RGB pucks that are.
Oh, is
all
that what
gonna
you
show
and
up.
Trim were talking about?
Yep. So I'm going to be able to do RGB light shows on my house, and I'm considering ordering more because Govee, the company that I ordered them from, they also do this light back here. They have so many different, like the variety of lights that they have is phenomenal. You can light up anything in any way. So pretty pumped about that.
Is that the one that's like puck wire? Okay.
So you could just change the color for any holiday?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The thing is, like, I bought some cheaper ones that were like, it's the tube, like the waterproof.
Yeah.
They have those on
one,
Temu.
and they actually like twist together. But and this is such a stupid thing, but I have a peak in the house, and then I have the long like, whatever, like long section of roof lower. I don't want to have to run just like one thing of wire up. Like I want an extension cord of the same material, but like that isn't on. I don't know. I got to figure that out.
The Govee lights have extensions, or technically the Pro version, you can keep your warranty by like splicing in wire, or with the other ones, you can just splice in wire. So,
Gentlemen, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to interrupt you.
Yes.
Facebook just sent me money.
Oh,
Ooh.
how many cents?
$5.70.
Whoa, I usually get
Dang.
around like 11 cents or 6 cents. So that's pretty
man.
great.
That's huge.
Lunch on Dan.
Dan's
next time
doing
we
okay.
We see him.
Oh, this guy, am I right?
Only other thing that I have, and this is real brief, because there's nothing really to it. While I was building Dan's shop, turns out overtired Braden is like a spendy boy. And we thought it was the funniest thing in the world. I hopped on GoDaddy. Turns out you can just buy domains. Like they don't check your state
no
of
one
mind.
stops you.
They just let you buy them. So if
Millimeter
you go
Peter.
if you go to mmpeter for millimeterpeter.com, it redirects somewhere. I'll let you find out where.
It's a short URL.
Yeah, it is safe for work. All of these are safe for work. You can go to onlydanscraps.com.
Oh,
And you can
wait.
go to-
Where does Millimeter Peter go?
It's a surprise. I'm gonna
Oh,
let the viewers
okay,
find out.
okay. All right.
Uh,
My OnlyFans.
Onlydanscraps.com goes somewhere. Turns out OnlyDans was unavailable. Real bummed about that. But I do have a calendar reminder on the day that the domain expires. And then danscraps.com goes to order Dan Scraps.
I like it.
So my entire woodworking business is how little can I do using a robot, and how many of Dan's Scraps.
Well, I
can sell?
got bad news for you. and you can thank your brother for this.
Oh, that son of a gun.
Turns out he is not a fan of the cold at all.
Coward. Oh,
Not
so you mean
even
you
a little
can't
bit.
leave
He's
your
got the-
garage open 24/7 for the next 8
He's-
months?
Oh, I told him
Burning.
the door is going to be open. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is because I love my dog more than I love most things. So he is wanting to burn all of the scraps
Nope.
all the time. So
Hard.
I gotta keep Sutton happy, bro.
I
gotta
will.
keep him
I
happy.
will loan him my Milwaukee heated jacket so that he can be okay. I can't. I
Okay.
can't risk
Just-
the. I can't risk the income.
I'm gonna
strain.
go under.
But anyway, so that's what I was mucking around with all week. Pete,
Hey,
we haven't forgotten about you. What'd you do this week, bud?
this week feels like 2 weeks. I don't know why. I feel like every day I've been extra productive for some reason. Like every day I got like a major task done that was like one of those, like it takes 20 minutes, but you delay it like it's like the end of the world. You know, we all do that. But anyways, last weekend we had some nice weather and I built a fire pit. I built a nice like stone fire pit. I replaced the one that I've had that I have to buy a new one every 2 years because I literally burn through the metal because they're cheapo, like Lowe's and Home Depot fire pits. So I got a new one in the backyard ready for our next get together in Jersey. So we can go real big with the fires. Which is ironic because I built it this week and I started a fire for the video and half the comments that I got was, hey, isn't there like a drought, like no fire warning in New Jersey? I'm like, yes, I know. I'm watching it and I'm going to.
Don't worry, I had the fire department here.
Yeah.
We recorded this in July. It was fine.
It was fine. Yeah. So luckily it is currently raining outside for the first time in over a month. And it's amazing. So excited because it is dry outside. So
Is it like the Land Before Time out there, like at the end when it starts raining and it puts out the fire?
yeah, now it does. Now it is. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the Land Before Time.
Actually, one of my coworkers lives in just over the border in New York State, and he sees the fire from his backyard, like moving its way down a mountain. Like
Whoa.
yeah, it's spooky. It's a real thing, guys.
You're getting rain soon, though, right?
Well, that's rain tonight. Yeah, rain.
Oh,
Rain.
thank
It's raining
God.
tonight. It rained today, and then I got the notification that the fire ban was lifted. I'm like, maybe hold on for a few days. Like maybe like
One
wait a
rain,
little bit.
one rain, burn, baby, burn.
They're like, oh, hey, we're fine. Bop it a boopy. Anyways, so I actually have a question for you guys and our listeners because I had a reaction. So Sarah
Usually
from
that's a
Rosie's
skin allergy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Use the cream.
So Sarah from Rosie's Wood Shop came over. She was having me process some like pen blanks because I'm just set up for it with all the tools and stuff. I milled a bunch of pen blanks for her. More than half of it was exotics, right? A lot of exotic wood.
Was
and we
that
all know
from
that
Dan Scraps by the...
no. Well, the first batch was. That's why I was still set up for it with my jigs and stuff. So this time around, she just brought over a bunch of exotics and a couple regular woods, and I got it all milled up for her. No issues. I felt great. Nothing, no problem. I had offcuts from all that stuff. So when I built the fire pit, that first day, I tested it out. What did I throw in there? All the exotics and random stuff, whatever. Next day, I wake up and my arm, like in my, like where like my elbow pit is, like rashy. My neck is all rashy. My face feels like I had like a chemical peel. Like it's dry and sand, like 220 sandpaper. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's
Do you
the
remember
fire.
what you burnt?
Dude, like Ipe, Mozambique, Sapili, ash, oak, like everything. I just
ash.
threw whatever was in there. And I don't know if it was like the coating, the zinc burning off the fire pit because it was like
It could have been that.
Could have been that and like the smoke out of my face. But dude, my face is, it seems normal in the video. It literally is sandpaper. It's so dry, like, and my neck is kind of itchy and bumpy. Like I have like for the last 3 days was really rough, like really rough fire. I'm like, this can't be. Maybe it's poison oak or something.
Well,
no,
it's
I'm not getting the
Maybelline.
rash. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Obviously, I'm not an expert and I can't pinpoint one thing. It could have been the zinc. It could have been the zinc from the
I don't know.
liner you put in there.
I think.
Although
Sorry.
I will say, a lot of those exotic woods have really agitating like oils
Yeah.
in them.
Ooh.
It's one of the. I don't know if agitating is the word, but
I know what you mean, though. Yeah. A lot of people are allergic to exotics.
So you got to be careful with those. So I would imagine if you burn them, it's going to get in the air, and it could probably agitate your skin and possibly your lungs. So
this is the part that really
some of those are
confused me.
not worth burning.
No, and you're right. Like, and this is the first time that this has happened, because like every time I cut exotics, and if I'm coated in it, I keep an eye on that for the next day or so, because I'm just curious if like, hey, am I allergic to this or whatever.
Allergen is the word I'm looking for.
Anytime I've milled up exotic woods, no issues. But I was burning them, and I was wondering if the smoke had ever. So I'm kind of curious if you guys, listeners, like if you've ever had a reaction to it.
I've never had a reaction.
Yeah, but like, I was recording the video, which next thing on the list, I was recording a YouTube video of the fire pit build. So like, I was there actively, like starting a fire, standing in front of it, going in front of the smoke constantly to like set the camera up or whatever for the final shots. So I'm curious if the smoke had done it. And I'm just curious if anyone else has ever had the experience, or maybe I just touched, I don't know, the wrong door handle at the wrong house.
I mean, maybe you were doing a lot of like physical labor type stuff. Maybe this is just like your body rejecting that because you have delicate keyboard hands.
That could be it too.
I will say,
soft
so
in the inside and the outside.
TJ and Jesse had Dr. Sari Robinson, who is a doctor of wood, specializing in like spalting and things like that. But
she also, you were trolling us, literally a doctor of wood.
No, she's literally, I'm trying to find what the actual doctorate is, because it's one of those, like, she's a doctor of wood, and I don't want to muck it up because super impressive.
How hard was it to get that degree? Like, where was it on a Jenga scale?
I have no idea. Sari is an associate professor of renewable material anatomy at Oregon State University. She has several nonfiction books about wood and spalting, but long story short, they spent a decent chunk of time talking about toxicity in woods, and apparently like every single wood is trying to like kill us, kind of, except for
because we're setting it on fire. If I ever get set on fire, I hope I kill whoever's doing it.
But I mean, that might be something. Like, exotics are generally fairly toxic, and so I want, just burning it. I mean, the ash is still it is the wood particle, so maybe that, or more likely, again, you have delicate keyboard body, and
it could be that. I mean, you guys know I'm no stranger to like doing fire pits, so like something about that day has caused this to happen. So I was just curious.
So I just sent you a list that I just pulled up on the internet via Google, and there's a ton of toxic woods here, and a lot of them for their reaction is dermatitis, skin irritation. So there's a ton.
Eczema.
Okay, well, it's good to know.
And that's why I don't put Duke Dan scraps in my pants. Just in case.
Just don't set them on fire. And like, if you're like just running your fire pit, Dan, like you throw it a Dan scrap in and you don't stand around it for an hour.
I don't.
You walk away. You go back.
Have you seen his Instagram reels? He yeets it from like 50 feet away towards the shop, which is probably kind of scary for Sutton.
Well, yeah, poor Sutton. He's going to use the fire pit. Burning scraps is a thing, a warmth thing. So
that'll teach him. I
might have to give him this list here.
Yeah, it's curious though, because that's the
oleander,
thing,
nausea, cardiac malaise, cancer, death.
Some of these, like, that's why, like, even with easy, like, regular wood that we use, wear a mask, wear a respirator. If it gets on your skin, blow it off afterwards or wash. Like, yeah, just the shirt.
Death is a oleander.
Guarantee.
Death. It says death as a possible. Woo.
It's funny because like that's the same side effect as listening to Sawdust Talk.
Sassafras.
Excessive access to Sawdust Talk can cause death.
Sassafras is a wood that could kill you.
I learned two things.
Sassafras
is a wood, and two, that it can kill you.
Sassafras is like actively trying. Some of them are passively trying to kill you. Sassafras, active. It is on the hunt.
if you burn you or get dust, it could give you nausea, fainting, intestinal irritation.
By the
You
way,
could lose
you you
could lose control of your bowels,
YEW.
death.
I don't
Yeah,
know what U
YEW.
is, like a type of wood.
I think our former host had a yew tree on his property.
So the dust, the wood, and the sap and the leaves are all allergenics.
Good Lord. You should post
hey.
that list in the show notes.
Dude, I'm going to include that. That's actually pretty great, Dan.
Dr. Sari Robinson wrote an article that's on Fine Woodworking titled Wood Allergies and Toxicity.
Yeah.
There you go.
Listen, it just goes to show you because, like, you know, I was so confident because I'm like, oh, I have cut all these woods for hours on end. No reaction whatsoever to my skin. I'm bulletproof. Let me burn it and inhale the fumes.
Yeah.
And like, I literally feel like I'm like made of sandpaper.
Got you.
know? Yeah. So it got me. So it just goes to show you, like, you know, don't be that confident. You never know what's going to happen, especially with, and the thing is, like, you know, why would exotics be different than it? They're from a different, it's like drinking water in Mexico. You're going to have a bad time. All right. But anyways, enough about the rashes. If you've had one, or if you've had a story about this, please call in or let us know, or let me know. But I actually recorded this fire pit. I was talking with Emma and I was like, maybe what I need to do is, I have this kitchen island build video that's in a timeline. I just dropped it in there and I just looked at it and I went, nope, not today. And I've been saying not today for like, like a lot.
7 years. I think.
Yeah,
7 years now.
at least 6-8 months. So we were talking and I'm like, what if I've been wanting to build or do one day build videos, but every time I'm like, well, I can't do this before I do that, right? But after talking to Drew last week, when he talks about, like, yeah, it took 6 months to film this video, it took 11 weeks to do this one, it took me a month to do this one. I'm like, you know what? No one knows what order you film this stuff in. Just get the video out. So I decided, like, you know what? I'm going to record this video. I'm going to get it all done. I've recorded everything in one day in about 8 hours. I got it all on a timeline. I already started editing it. It's only 2 hours and 20 minutes of footage that I can probably get down to 2 hours and 10 minutes. So, you know, no, but I'm actually actively editing it and I'm actually excited about it. So maybe, you know, a smaller bite is going to help me get back into YouTube, like doing a smaller video, one day build. So I'm pretty excited about it. So anyways, that's coming hopefully soon.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
I need to, because I need an accountability buddy.
I don't like how productive we all got after Drew came on. Like, what the hell?
Hate it.
Well, to be fair, I thought about being productive.
We all thought about being productive for years. No, but
you just made it happen.
Listen, here's the thing, Dan. I've also been disappointed. You were apparently recording a bunch of YouTube videos when Sutton got hired. And now you're getting ramen for lunch with him. So anyways, what else am I doing?
I forgot to tell you how much that cost. Oh God.
Was that expensive?
Lunch?
Yeah.
$80 for lunch.
For ramen?
We got a lot of appetizers.
Oh.
And we didn't drink anything. We just had waters. It was all food.
Dan's bill at restaurants has not changed since he stopped drinking. He's just getting apps instead.
Yeah. Facts.
Hi, I'd like all of your apps and desserts.
We got these huge bowls of ramen. I got pork, and he got some fried chicken thing. It was delicious. Anyways, we're going through the appetizers, and we got pork goja, and he's like, "Hey, have you ever had steamed buns?" I'm like, "No, I haven't." He goes, "Let's get them." I'm like, "Yeah, bring us those. How many do you want?" 4 of those. So yeah, we got several appetizers. It was great. And then they brought the bill, and I was like,
jeez. Well,
it's good though.
It's just goes to show you, if you need work in a Nebraska area, Dan's hiring and he feeds you.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
Got to keep him happy.
So what else?
Hopefully my wife doesn't listen to this.
Yeah, no, she doesn't. She definitely doesn't. So aside from that, I have been actually feeling very productive this last week. Every day I've kind of knocked out some of those tasks that take 20 minutes but you keep delaying because like, well, not right now. I don't have 20 minutes right now because you think in your head it's going to take an hour. I don't have time. My brain doesn't have the capacity to deal with this one email, right? And you just delay it. We've all done this before. But I've been very productive about staying on top of that stuff and getting stuff. So every day I got something like content wise or like connection with a brand wise done, like an email or something, or some kind of deal, and then some kind of piece of content every single day, approved or done or partially edited. So I felt very productive this year or this week. And again, I'm not giving any credit to Drew Witt. It's not because of him. It's because we all got motivated for some reason this week.
We were gonna get motivated.
Yeah,
It was a coincidence.
It's just pre-Thanksgiving. We always get like this. And the thing is, like, with dealing with all this, I somehow the stars aligned, and I'm dealing with like three Eastern Asian brands. Let's just put it that way. For the Far East, like I'm dealing with 3 content deals with 3 companies. They're all like based out of China or somewhere in Asia. So like a lot of like back and forth is like I'll send a message and I'm not getting a response till like late afternoon. And sometimes it's just for like a video approval, like, hey, is this good? Can I post it? And like it's a lot of back and forth. And man, I never felt it so much as this week when I have 3 separate companies replying to me in the middle of the night. And then when I reply in the morning, I can't hear anything from them till the end of the next day. It's just so infuriating to deal with going back and forth like that via email. But anyways, that's just part of what you do. Aside from that, I've just been prepping for the craft fair. I got one next Sunday after Thanksgiving. What? Yeah. So we got a bunch of stuff that we're kind of going through our inventory. I need to take out all the
Sunday.
bins. Yes. It's small business, Black Friday, small business Saturday, Sucker Free Sunday, Cyber Monday.
Oh,
Free Sunday. So on Sucker Free Sunday, we're doing a craft fair, and I got a bunch of stuff. Suckers? You know it. I got a bunch of stuff ready, but I need to make a couple more cutting boards this weekend. So that's the job for this weekend. I have most of my ornaments, but some of them are kind of low stock, so I'm gonna just replenish those. So luckily, I don't have to do like full. Like I want ham in January because I was getting orders for ornaments through January. So I'm like, let me load up. And I feel pretty ready, but I have no like new products. So I got to figure out what to do. Maybe I'll do some whiskey smokers, maybe some cribbage boards, something like that. Figure it out.
Don't put them in the oven.
Don't put them in the oven. Luckily, I literally sell a cribbage board file on my Etsy. So I'll just buy my own file and then just use that.
It's a write-off.
It's a write-off. Exactly.
Can you buy stuff from yourself and then write it all off? Can you do that? Is that a loophole?
I don't want to answer that.
I don't want to answer that.
Huh.
Technically, I believe that qualifies as money laundering. But like poorly, because it doesn't actually go anywhere.
Yeah. Also, on my bench, congratulations, Adam Barnett, on reaching 40?
40?
Is it Adam's birthday?
Dust.
Yeah, today is his birthday.
Oh, so happy birthday, Adam Barnett.
Yeah.
Also, Kamani von Strayhorn, congratulations on going full time.
Oh. Is he?
Well, there's a shop he's looking to possibly start working at down the street from him. A buddy of his. Right. Yeah. So Kamani, congratulations on going full time. Barnett, congratulations on getting older. And also, I will say, just on a side note, I'm enjoying Rockler's content with him in charge.
It's
silly.
some good
stuff. Is he in charge though?
Yeah, Megan doesn't. She doesn't check social media.
Yeah, Rockler's content is getting better.
Yeah,
so good job, Adam.
Adam, good work on the silliness. I like it. All right, let's get into questions, I guess. Do we do questions now?
Yes,
What's
please.
on my questions?
Where's the thing? Wait, where's...
Go, Black Betty! Ram lamb!
Oh, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this question's from Jared the Puma.
Wow.
Hey, you guys, from another Woodshop podcast. This is J-Rod here from LL Builds. I love the show. Keep up the great work. First thing, I'm not sure how Braden is managing to make a buck selling so many Dan scraps. I can barely feed my fireplace in the winter. Dan, you got to work on your material utilization, man. Anyways, today's question is related to working out. So as far as I can tell, this is specific to Pete. I'm asking because I see he's been trying to get back into working out. When I worked 9 to 5, I made it a top priority to work out during lunch with the coworkers in the office gym. My target was to do that every day that I was in the office, so not traveling, etc. And I was pretty successful at it, and I made some good buddies doing that. Now that I've left and I have a home gym that I use on work from home days, but I still struggle to fit it in, especially when I'm deep in a project. I just want to keep working, as I'm sure you guys can relate to. So the question is, how do you make doing healthy things such as working out, doesn't have to be, could be something else, a priority, especially when the workload is high? For me, it's having a routine. So I usually drop the kids off in the morning at 8:30. I'm in the shop until 11 a.m. and then I stop what I'm doing, work out, then eat, and sometimes take a shower. My target is to be back in the workshop by 1 at the latest. So what about you guys? Cheers.
Bro's talking about going to the gym for lunch, and I just mentioned that I spent $80 on ramen for lunch.
Ramen and apps.
You spent $80 on tapas at a ramen place. So here's the thing. So I talked about this a couple weeks ago, where I started trying to work out and get in shape and working out every single day. I started a little
How's that
challenge.
working out?
Great.
See what I did.
Sounds like your skin's turned to 220 sandpaper.
Yeah, right. So here's the thing, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I hate it. It's the worst. It's so much work, and honestly, I feel better. I don't get winded up going up and down the stairs. It is the worst. It's work. It's work. It's a lot of work, and I hate it. And it's gotten to the point where even Emma's like, "Go." I'm like, I don't want to work out. Like she's like, "Go downstairs and work out. You'll feel better." And like, you got to get your significant other on board with it too, where they're either encouraging you or they love watching you suffer and they want to watch you go work out. The other thing is, you need a buddy system, because when I was just doing it by myself, I was kind of hardly motivated. Then I started sharing my activity on my Apple Watch with other makers like Mike Suter, Nick Brim, who's dead to us because he's not going to WorkbenchCon. Like, I was sharing my activity with them and I was getting their workouts. And anytime they work out, I was like, I need to work out. I need to do something. I got to do something. So I'm down a couple of pounds. I'm down about 10 pounds from my peak. I feel better. My shirts fit better. I'm not working out every single day right now, because I was literally working myself to exhaustion. I'm working out every couple of days and I still feel good, but I got to keep losing weight, because I have a half of a wardrobe that I don't fit into, that I'm slowly starting to fit into again. So instead of buying new clothes, I can just wear my old clothes. So it feels pretty good.
This is why I got rid of my Apple Watch after 1 week. I was like, nope, I don't want anybody checking on me. I'm just gonna die in peace.
Guys,
leave me alone.
The reality is, it sucks. It sucks a lot. It's hard work, and if you don't have a buddy system, or you're not doing a Peloton
hard work
workout,
is for the weak.
Yeah, it's for the weak. It's for the Drew Witts of the world, But if you can do some kind of Peloton workout where they're cheering you on, or the Apple Fitness Plus, or something where you're working out with people or in a gym, that really helps, because you get kind of psyched up. If here's the thing, if these two decided hey, we're all going to go on a fitness challenge, we would beat each other up verbally into working out every single day. Imagine if all of us did a Mark Adams photo next year, and it's just six packs, just fully jacked. We lift up our shirt and he has to turn the lights down because the glare, because they're waxed for some reason.
When did you guys get baby oil?
Yeah. Oh, we went over to Bubble Shoots.
Nuba.
Baby Nuba.
That's the number one reason why I don't get ripped is I'm gonna be honest. If I had a six pack and pecs, if this was cut, I would never wear a shirt. Grocery store, no shirt.
Thank you. Thank you for being
out on the town. No
chunky.
Shirt.
Thank you for
driving
being
to
chunky.
Redbox.
I appreciate it.
No shirt. So plus we're going into winter and we've got hard months ahead.
Look, when science comes so far that you can lose weight by sitting at the counter and eating cheeseburgers and drinking beer, then I'm in.
It's called Ozempic.
You just need to get that thing where like you stand there and it's got the thing wrapped around you and it just like shakes your belly.
Just jiggling. You know
I'm jiggling away the fat.
You know what my biggest motivator
really
is?
difficult to eat.
Here's my biggest motivator right now is being like a hot fit dad. Like now, like as Juniper grows up, I like drop her off at activities, whatever, when she's older.
You want your kid to think you're hot?
No, I want all the other moms to be like, that man. And so I can just go, no, thank you. I'm full. I appreciate it. Like
I'm full.
I got everything I need at home. Yeah. I have appetizers and a full meal at home. No, thank you. But for my old aging psyche, I appreciate you looking at me like that.
What a morsel. And then Pete says something and they say, you know what? We're good.
Because here's the thing. In high school, if you have a six-pack in high school, every asshole has, should bleed both of those, has a six-pack. Like everyone in sports feel like it looks good. But when you get to like our age,
call me when you're 30.
It's like, it's single digits, guys. So, like you can really stand out if you just get a little bit in shape. You can be, you can stand out quite a bit. It's just so like, it's nice. It's nice to feel nice. It's like putting on a nice dress, pair of slacks.
Right. Okay.
Guys, health-wise though, like take care of your health. Like be around for a while, Dan.
Wear your PPE.
Ramen's healthy.
Wear your PPE. Once in a while, eat a salad.
Yeah.
Take the stairs,
PPE.
not the elevator.
There was bok choy in it.
Bok choy.
It's a vegetable, I think.
That is a vegetable. It's very much a vegetable.
I didn't eat it, but it was in it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to point out
it.
that Dan and I have already planned out our post craft fair meal.
Yes, you did.
Deep ass fried chicken.
I am a little upset for not being invited.
Oh, you're always invited, Petey. You're not inviting us to your nerd maker meetups.
I want to go to San Francisco and do cosplay, but you didn't invite me.
It's not cosplay, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't. Maybe you should have explained.
Can be if you're not a coward.
Maybe if you listened, you would be invited.
All right. Next question.
Next question is from Sarah Goldstein, and she just wrote it in her email like a savage. No hello, no goodbye, so we can't even transcribe it. It's just I'll try to do it as her. Hey girlies, how do you effectively price your work and reflect both material cost and your time? Thanks, girlies. Bye, Sarah. So I will say,
I thought you said she didn't record the audio.
Yeah, that's pretty spot on, right?
I thought she was here.
Right now, I have two good impressions.
Is flabbered right now.
Like Dan has a good Jim Gaffigan impression. I have a good Trump, and I have a good Sarah. That's my two good impressions.
What a swing on the pendulum.
So, Dan, how do you price your products?
We've talked about this.
Spaghetti on a wall.
Wait to yell at Dan as soon as he finishes talking about this.
Well, we've talked about this before, and I actually have a formula.
Ooh.
Believe it or not.
Math.
It's material costs times 3 plus 10%. That's it.
Material costs times 3 plus 3%.
Plus 10%.
Oh, 10%. Sorry. Plus 10%.
Yes.
It's classic. Yeah. The 10% is
it
for the
works.
markup for toolware and other things.
Yes.
Why not? Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good way to put it.
It's simple. It gets the job done. You can play with it from there, but that's a good starting place. If you feel like you can go higher, you can go higher. If you feel like you're too high, you can go down a little bit. That's just a really good starting point. I'm not saying you have to be there the whole time. Just good starting point.
Yep.
That's it. That's my answer.
Braden,
you gonna yell at me now?
Dan, raise your prices. I will. First, I have a formula as well. I will preface it with mine is designed to keep me consistently busy, but not overwhelmed with work. So it is purposely somewhat cost prohibitive to some customers. I basically calculate out jobs, and I'm doing, bigger jobs, less retail type stuff. I calculate out what I think the time is going to be. I calculate a shop rate of $30 an hour. So time times 30. I then take my materials and I add a 10% markup on whatever my material cost is. And then I take both of those, add them together, and I add a 40% upcharge. The 10% on my materials covers the inevitable time that I stick an entire cabinet in the oven and split all the glue or something like that. And then the 40% covers any wear and tear on my machines. It covers bits, it covers disposables, consumables, and then it has enough in there that I'm not only getting margin, but there's a difference between margin and profit. Margin is what you make after material costs and expenses. Profit is what hits your bottom line. And I want to make sure that I'm getting at least 10 to 15 points of profit on every job. Again, it's not perfect, and it is somewhat cost prohibitive to some jobs, but I don't mind being told no on jobs. So that's what I do. Pete?
I love both your answers. I think initially I started out with, actually, when I first started out, it was, I'm going to price this roughly.
What tool can I buy?
What tool can I, how much does the tool cost that I need for this job to make it happen? So like the job just costs the cost of the tool and material, right? I agree with Dan's method is kind of like, that's the kind of bread and butter. That's the middle of the road. That's what a lot of people will use. And I think it's great because a lot of us are really bad at pricing our time. So at the very least, even if you go a little over with time, you're still getting paid pretty well. And especially as you're starting out and this might not be your full-time job, great way to price it, because you might overprice some jobs, which is great. Mm-hmm. You just make some extra money. Or you might underprice yourself a little bit on this one, but you're still making decent money. And material going up in cost just brings your numbers up. So that's, I think, really good. Braden's method is awesome, but I think a lot of us have a really hard time of pricing time. And I will say, Sarah, go watch Keith Johnson's video on his bookcase and desk build. He literally timed the hours on it. And he's like, this should have cost $11,000.
Oh yeah.
The quoted amount was $6,000, but this is for my niece, so really wasn't nowhere near that.
I just watched that video.
Yeah, and the thing is, the stuff adds up, and before you know it, your time, just to go get material, and she goes down to Willer Brothers too, which is where we got the lumber for that video. It's just to get the lumber, 4 hours. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, it's 2 hours one way, just to go get the lumber. Because the price is better, but it's still a bit of a drive. And then to mill it, whatever, and he was at 12 hours or something for just get the lumber and mill it. And that's it. It starts adding up real quick. That being said,
4 hours round trip to get material makes me really, really happy about my $25 in-town delivery charge that I can get from Liberty.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I started doing that. Oh, that's phenomenal.
And that's a no-brainer. If you can get a decent supply where you guys are at, get that delivery. Because our delivery, from Board and Beams, which is our biggest supplier in the area, it's $100 flat rate and up. Yeah. Yeah.
Then again, they like me there. I think Dan has $100 minimum delivery charge.
But didn't he get someone fired?
No.
No comment.
Bummer. That being said, a lot of us have, initially, and this wasn't so much my shop rate, this was my laser and my CNC rate. We've been talking about this for years, and I decided $1 an hour, $1 a minute, $1 a minute, so $60 an hour is the absolute floor for any machine. So if a machine's running for 18 minutes, add 5 minutes of setup time, whatever, that's 23 minutes, and you're charging $23 for it. But realistically, that's a little low if you're having to CNC stuff out, whatever. So now my floor for my CNC and my laser and my personal shop rate is $75 an hour. So if I'm running my CNC or a laser job, I've done work for Sarah actually, and if it's an hour and a half of carving, I'm charging $75 an hour plus material. And you just got to be brutal with it. That's what it is. And material, obviously, there's always a markup if you're providing it. If the customer provides it, it's whatever. It's a wash. Dan?
Feel like we would be remiss if we didn't mention that there is a podcast. It's no longer a podcast, but there's still episodes out. Oh, were you? Well,
yeah,
continue.
it's my next thing. Okay.
Okay.
So Dan's bringing up a great point. So essentially, here's the thing: $75 for especially for machinery, and especially if you're a professional woodworker, depending on your skill, you can charge different rates. $75 to $125 an hour should be your rate. I think that's reasonable. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
For someone with, and here's the thing: you might not even be the greatest woodworker out there, but if you've got all the tools in your shop, you've got all the tools.
I'm not the greatest, but I can act like it.
Yeah, they're paying for shop time. You know, if you have a circular saw and a Craftsman table saw, like, you might not be set up as well as someone that could like really process lumber and do this stuff efficiently. And the ironic thing is, the better your tools, the faster you do things, the more you charge.
So one thing that I would point out, so like my shop rate, when I do all these quotes, like I said, I charge $30 an hour for shop rate in my breakdowns. The reason that I do that is that's not my expectation for my rate for my shop to produce. I'm charging based on, hey, if I had an employee that I was paying $30 an hour, that's what I'd be paying them. My 40% upcharge, that's covering the other like $35 an hour.
I love that. That's great. That's a great way to look at it. So the last thing is, which is what Dan was talking about, Made for Profit is a great podcast by Brad Rodriguez and Shimon Shmalecki that was out, and I don't think they make it anymore, right?
No, they don't. They haven't made a new episode since like 2020.
It's called Made for Profit. I think it's actually worth going back and listening to all the episodes.
Absolutely.
They actually make a Made for Profit pricing sheet, which actually
it's still out there for sale.
Still out there for sale. I think it's $25. It gives you you punch in all your material stuff, your shop rate, how many hours, all that stuff. It spits you out a price. It's great. And like even Keith was using it for a long time. This professional YouTuber and woodworker and furniture maker was using this pricing sheet from a podcast. Don't scoff at it. Like it's worth looking into. It's really good info. So try checking that out. I think it's worth the purchase, and that's going to get you a nice baseline for what you should be charging. We haven't done pricing in a while. This is good. Oh, and occasionally we actually didn't mention one thing, and that is FU pricing.
Mm-hmm.
FU prices is sometimes someone requests something. They're like, "Hey, I need this. I just need a tabletop build. I have a mobile, like a whatever base for my desk. I just need a table. How much is it going to be?" And you're like, "I don't want to do this right now. I don't have time for this." So instead of $300, you're telling them $600. And then they go, "Okay, yeah, can you get it done by December 10th?" And you're like, "Oh, I should have charged more." That's an FU price. You just throw a number at them to make them go away, and they say yes. And those are the jobs that make you realize what your worth is. Yeah, and you're like, "Oh yeah, this damn, I should have charged more." We always say the same thing. We're always like, "Should have charged more."
Yeah, it's I quoted a couple when I was of built-ins, like when I was first getting started, or like built-in bar areas, cabinetry, the stuff that I don't super enjoy doing. And yeah, I had a gal come back. She's like, "Your prices are way cheaper than I thought." And I was like, "Shit, should have doubled the price." Damn it.
But here's the thing: usually these FU prices are numbers that like we weren't expecting to make ever. So it's like, okay, you know what? This is all gravy.
Yeah, you need to shoot those kinds of quotes out, like just with the confidence. Because at end of the day, like if you don't get it, you didn't want the job when you quoted it. Like that's what the point of the FU price is you don't want the job. But I'll do it for that.
It's the fine, I'll do it price. What's your fine? I'll do it. Well, actually, good question, Sarah. Good stuff. That's it for questions, though, unless somebody else wrote in a secret one.
I do have questions about life and the meaning around all this.
No.
But I don't know if we have time.
I can't help you. I can't help you.
Well, I do have a question, guys. I actually have a question for Dan. Dan,
Uh-oh.
Are we recording on Thursday or Wednesday next week?
Wednesday, I was told.
Whoa! Ooh. Tell me more about that.
We are recording on Wednesday because guess what? Thursday is the giving of thanks.
Ah, yes.
the holiest of holidays, where we'll be filling our bellies with turkey and mashed potatoes and what have you.
Hot take: turkey sucks.
What the
We
heck?
just put up with it. It's
In
the
case
driest meat
anybody,
ever.
in
I
case anybody's
disagree,
looking for something to
100%.
do with their free time, we are currently looking for a replacement third host because
Really?
Pete has
You want-
terrible un-American thoughts.
Right?
Guys, I smoke. By the way, smoke your turkey, Dan.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
going to. Yeah,
Yes,
I'm going to spatch it. and-
Spatchcock. Yes, spatchcock.
I don't
yeah.
like to say that other word.
Say it.
Spatch it. I'm going to
Say
spatch it.
Say
I'm
no.
going to spatch phallus it.
I think you're cooking your turkey different than the rest of us. Fried turkeys.
Deep fried turkey. Deep fried turkey is great.
We'll be doing the
Deep fried turkey.
pre-show on Wednesday. Come join us on YouTube, youtube.com/anotherwoodshop podcast. Also like to give a big shout out to all of our patrons for helping us keep this turkey boat afloat.
I like that.
I didn't like it, but I'm warming up to it.
Yeah,
This
it's getting
gravy
better.
boat. Gravy
Uh,
boat? That's a thing, actually, a gravy boat.
That is a thing.
Without you guys, we couldn't keep doing this every week. So we appreciate you guys so much. We got big things coming in 2025. So stay tuned. Can you guys believe it? It's almost 2025.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to consider it.
Is there anybody you would like to thank?
I would like to thank WTB Woodworking, Bill Burkle, for being a sponsor and opening up another space for makers to be able to get all their making supplies. So make sure to go check out Monday, November 25th at 9 a.m. They're doing an epoxy demo from Chilpoxy. Chilpoxy is coming out to check that out. And make sure to go check out their website for the giveaway of the Festool drill plus batteries. So much exciting. There's more to come.
And not just the giveaway. I mean, you can go buy all your tools and whatnot
Yeah.
over at WTBwoodworking.com.
Get all your supplies at WTBwoodworking.com. We should try to get an AWP code. It doesn't have to do anything. We just need one.
Just gives you
adds
a,
25 cents.
gets you a
like,
firm handshake.
it
and
adds a
extra quarter.
tax, and then we just like money laundering thing.
Do we have a
money
guest next
laundering.
week?
We don't.
We do.
Damn it.
We do. Alex Duffy is going to be joining us. I forget his Instagram handle. Now I feel
Duffy
like
Woodcraft.
Of course it is Duffy Woodcraft. Alex Duffy is going to be joining us, so that should be fun. He's been putting out some really awesome content lately. I see that he's been doing a lot of CNC with me content, actually.
He's real tight over there at CNC with me, and he does a ton of craft fairs. I was talking to him. He said
Ooh.
he sold at his last fair. It was a 2-day event. He sold half of his entire season's inventory in 2 days.
What did he
Weewa.
have, like 10 items?
No,
So he sold
he's
5?
He doesn't do what we do, where he like panic makes the night before. Like he plans, like he's making ahead of time.
Man.
Wow,
Tell me
does
how
he
you
start
think
making
bundles.
back in September when people tell him that he should start planning for the holidays? Wow, that's crazy.
What are you
Yep.
talking
He
about?
does packaging, he does price tag, like he does the whole thing.
The
He doesn't
whole
just
shebang.
like hope that they like his charming personality like Dan and I do.
He's charming. He's a charming guy. That should be fun. Come join us.
Yay! See y'all next Wednesday then. And
Wednesday.
it's Wednesday, my dudes. You guys know the meme? No?
I don't
No.
like that.
I do
I don't
not
like that one
I don't-
bit.
Oh,
Hey, the
dang
light
it.
just turned off. The
Oh,
battery
it died.
just died.
Perfect timing. And with that, Dan, get us out of here.
Hey, see y'all next week. Bye, bye, bye.
Love you. Bye, 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 bye.
Bye.
Love you long time.